Alright, got my decoder today from MB Klein. Again, great customer service. They got it out here through the holidays in probably 2 to 3 days, which isn't bad. I'm here on the West Coast. So I put it in. It took a while to figure out how all the functions work because this is a non-sound. I'm using the ESU Lok Sound 4.0. It's the 21 pin connector that's already on the board, like I described in the previous update. I installed it and it ran pretty good right out of the box. I've been basically doing a bunch of tweaks to it to figure out mainly the lighting. That was the hardest part because, again, no instructions with the True Trains, and the ESU instructions aren't really helpful because I don't know what functions this thing's actually wired to. So trial and error, finally figured it out. So the first one obviously is going to be the headlight, which comes on right there, which is just the main light. Then I got the digilights. There's also a number board light, which I just found out probably 20 minutes ago playing with the F functions. And then I got the cab light to work. So on the ESU, the way I got them to work is basically I use JMRI for my DCC programming. When you use it stock out of the box, the ditch lights come on one at a time. That way, if you were to use it for for sound, you can get the alternating flashing lights, which is cool that they're wired separately. But if you want them to come on and off like that with one punch, then it takes a little more work, and it's just going back into the function section of JMRI, and that will help you be able to program each one. And trying to find it, there it is. It's the output map function of JMRI. So one cool thing though is when you get into the output function, you can change. There is a ton of different outputting features for this model, or for this decoder, which is cool. I guess that's where the 21 pin comes into play. So one of the ones, I mean, obviously we can turn on all the lights, but as soon as you put it in the reverse, you can program it so it turns all the headlights off and only the reds come on, which I think is pretty cool, that you don't have to turn the ditch lights on and off. And just like the prototype, throw it in reverse, red lights come on. And then you just throw it back in the forward, and all the lights you had on previously will come back on, which is a cool thing. I don't know if people are familiar with the layout here, but it's actually, this is my San Martin Caltrain platform that this is on, so I finally get to have a true Caltrain engine, even though the Baby Bullet doesn't run down this far. They still are using the F40s, but that's alright. Running wise, this thing actually runs really well. With the ESU decoder, I just bumped up the starting for it so that it starts on speed step 1, and it's got a pretty good top speed. It's, as far as noise, it's not too bad. It's not too noisy. There's a couple settings in JMRI that you can change if it is noisy or quiet, but this is it's on speed step 2. So there's speed step 1 that I've adjusted it to, and then having it. So, I mean, it's fairly quiet, and it's actually pretty smooth. One of the other projects I did is, here's my Athearn cars that were for it. I wanted to have the rear lights operate on the rear of the car for the cab car, and I was only concerned with doing the reverse or the red lights for the tail lamps. So going through different options. I was going to do decoders and do all that, but I don't really want to deal with the decoder. Oops, lose my camera here. So what I did is I used a Walther's lighting kit. Get my camera back. A Walther's lighting kit that they sell DCC. It's this is a 920-1061. Got it at the local hobby shop. 13 bucks. Basically, you put it in, put power to it, and you get lights. This one actually is a 2 separate board, which works out fine because I was able to put it in the lower deck. Zoom in here. I was able to put it in the lower deck and the upper deck. The reason it's dark down here is because during the installation I actually screwed up one of the lights on the light board. Because the way I did it was I actually ran fiber optic cables to the rear here, and they run up to the light board, and that's where they get their light. Because when you drill out the rear here, there's not a lot of room. And I'll show you. Take the camera off the tripod. The lights right now are white. As soon as I've ordered the Tamiya makes a basically it's a paint used for painting lenses. So I got the red color, and so you can see the lights there. I'm trying to put the camera in an area where there's a bunch of scenery. So I'm going to put the paint on those and dye them basically red so that they'll illuminate. There's no DCC address for these. They basically just come on when there's power. You can see the car and you can see where it's dark. It's not a big deal. So I got the like I said, I got the Tamiya paint to do the rear trailing lights here. Those are the only lights I'm going to do. I don't have any interest in running these in the reverse, mainly because I only have 24-inch radius, and the diaphragms for the Athearn bind on each other pretty bad going around corners. So it runs fine this way, and I'm probably going to not do the push portion, so there's no need to actually put any of the rest of the lighting in. And eventually I'll get the rest of the cars modified with the lighting kits. And there's no pickups on the Athearns, so I made my own. I used Minitronics wipers, and it's just a phosphor bronze wire that kind of clicks onto the axle, and then you just bend the other end, and then you run the wires down to it, and it works pretty good. It stiffens the wheels up a little bit, so it creates a little more drag, but it's not too bad, because I may run a maximum of only 4 cars, so I may buy one more car just to get a 4-car set out of it. And then the other thing I've been doing with it, just replacing the couplers. Put the KD scale, I think they're the 1/68s, the whisker couplers. Works much better than the stock Athearn McHenry ones, like those that come with it. Those things just come apart all the time. So other than that, that's the only thing I've been working on. Hopefully I'll get the Tamiya paint here shortly. And the lighting kit doesn't have a capacitor to it, but this thing actually stays pretty well lit over through the whole layout. I haven't really had much an issue with lights flickering. So was going to add a capacitor, but I decided not to. So overall, this is for the True Trains. I definitely you can recommend this product. It's definitely pretty good. And I also did the coupler upgrade on this one too. Put some 168s on it. They work a lot better, look a lot better. But it's a good model. I only needed one of them, so this is probably the only one I'm going to buy. But if you get a chance, definitely try and hand select them, because from what I've been reading, they definitely have some quality control issues. But once you get all those little bugs worked out, it's a real nice model. Real nice lighting options as well. So any questions, just go ahead and leave them. Thanks.